We're gonna cover all 5 keys behind our brand new logo, and we're gonna start right now. What's up, everybody? It's Dave Miller from GarageStrength.com, and if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in becoming a better athlete, you wanna get stronger, you wanna be more explosive, you wanna cultivate your power, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you ring that notification bell so we can help you become a champion. So for the last 12 years, we've used the same exact logo that I created before I even started Garage Strength. I had this idea that I wanted to have an Olympic weightlifter rooted in the ground. I wanted to promote sustainable agriculture. I wanted to promote Olympic weightlifting and using Olympic weightlifting for developing sports performance. And I had this idea, and I discussed this with 2 of my friends, John Rowe and Ford Widrig, and Ford ended up designing this whole logo based around someone, Pyros Demos, being rooted in the ground, and that sort of symbolized being strong, but having that root in sustainable nutrition. And so over time, we used that for, over a decade, right? But then we got to the point where we started to put a lot of time and effort into YouTube, and we started to sit there and decide, like, hey, people might think we're just Olympic weightlifting. They might think that we're really just putting ourselves in this corner and that we're actually not involved with sports performance, which is ironic because almost 80% of our business is based around sports performance. So we started to recognize, hey, we got a merchandise store on YouTube because you guys were so happy with the content we were putting out. We got over that 10,000 barrier, and now we've got that merchandise store, and we started to think, hey, maybe it's time that we change our logo to encompass all of the populations that we're targeting and to help people recognize that we aren't just Olympic weightlifting. We are more than Olympic weightlifting. We're sports performance and how we can help you achieve those goals. And so that's when we started to work on the concepts behind our new logo. And we started to think about what are those key aspects that are behind our gym, that are behind our success on site here, and how can we get them and broadcast those key aspects to you through that specific logo. And so we started right off with that cornerstone. And if we can think about, I know this drawing isn't the best.
Okay, it's not the best depiction of our logo, but we did our best, or Trevor did his best. So blame Trevor.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So if we can start right here with the cornerstone, and we're gonna focus on cultivation, and that is that motto that we like to use, that I like to use, and this is still where we're having that feeling of being rooted in the ground and being rooted in nutrition, but ultimately, what does cultivation even mean? And so cultivation is the process of trying to develop a quality or a skill over a long period of time. And so that's one of the key reasons here. That's why I like to use this as our cornerstone behind our logo. Cultivation, in cultivating whatever we're working towards, that's everything that embodies sports performance. That's everything that embodies strength, and that's everything that really embodies progress as a human being. If you can work on various skills and work on various qualities, and you constantly try to acquire them and become better as a human being, become better as an athlete, become better as a coach, and whatever that might be, whatever skill that you want to focus on, now we know that's the absolute cornerstone behind our logo and what our gym embodies. And so that takes us into the next aspect, which is here, and that's going to be transformation. And so what's transformation? It's a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. And again, we gotta sit there and think. Somebody who walks in the door, let's use Haley Reichert for example. She comes in the door, she's in 7th, 8th grade. She never played a single sport. But then over time, she starts to recognize and she starts to cultivate those motivations. And she goes from a 7th and 8th grade kid who's never played a single sport to all of a sudden, she's a world-class Olympic weightlifter. Over 5, 6, 7 years, she's making senior Olympic weightlifting teams representing Team USA. Or we're taking, the chubby kid that's in middle school that has no aspirations as an athlete, and all of a sudden they're breaking county records in throwing. They're throwing distances that would have been unheard of because of their ability to transform, which is also rooted in that cultivation. And so transformation is that next big key here, is that every single athlete, that comes through our gym, that goes onto our website, that engages with us with our content, we are looking to take that cultivation and then take that step forward into transformation to help you become a better version of yourself, to help you become a different form so that you can constantly make progress, you can constantly strive to get to that podium, and whatever that podium might be. It might actually be winning a state title or becoming an NCAA champion or a world champion, or it might be that podium for you is just specific towards some simple goals, but it still embodies and takes on the realm of transformation. And so that leads us into here where we've got our flames coming up, and that I want to start with that middle flame here, which is going to be wisdom. And so what is wisdom? It's the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. And if so, we can think about this as, the wisdom would be the coaches. The wisdom would be what we offer with our coaches here on site, and all of the quality of experience that they have, all of the work that we've put in, all of the time that we've dedicated to learning from other people. For myself, learning from someone like Charles Poliquin, from learning from someone like Dr. Anatoly Bondarchuk, but then also learning from our athletes and learning over the last decade and constantly trying to learn from different athletes and what type of athlete they are, how they handle criticism, how they handle cues, how they handle instruction, how they handle different exercises, and then how do those exercises impact their sports performance? How does that impact their Olympic weightlifting? How does it impact them mentally? And then how can we take that and constantly try to develop that motivation and those incentives to become better people and to transform, and then ultimately lead back to that cultivation of becoming better people and acquiring those new skills. And so wisdom is one of those absolute key factors, and that's why we've got multiple different coaches here that were NCAA All-Americans, multiple different coaches that were NCAA champions, and we even have our videographer was an All-American. That's the type of wisdom that we have here in the building that is all based around sports performance and all based around acquiring that knowledge so that we can constantly get better as coaches to help our pupils, to help our students, to help our athletes become better versions of themselves. And then that takes us over to this flame here, which is power. And we can start to think of this in multiple ways. We can think about, okay, hey, power development, becoming more powerful, but also think about power that is internal. Think about it from a more abstract perspective. Think about it in life, in sport, in what do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to become? What version of yourself do you want to become? Not a version of somebody else, not a version of Michael Jordan or LeBron James, but a version of yourself. I want to become the absolute best person that I can possibly be in all aspects of life. And that takes a lot of power, that takes a lot of energy to develop that, and that takes a lot of time and patience. And then finally, that leads to this third flame, which is going to be energy. And so energy is going to be that feeling that you have, that motivation that you have, the feeling of walking into the gym and you have that spark, you want to get after it. But also it's sort of that unwritten feeling. It's that feeling that you can barely put a word to, but especially when you walk into our gym. When you walk into this gym, that feeling, it's completely different. And you can't really put a word to describe it other than it's the energy. People will say this all the time. Dude, there's so much energy when we're in here. Well, there's so much energy in the back room. This place is phenomenal. It's unbelievable. No wonder you have so many freaks in here because everybody's working together. It's a large group setting. And when one person starts to smash weights, the next person starts smashing weights, and it's infectious. It's something that everybody can then feed off of. And that's where energy is an absolute pivotal aspect behind development. We need that guide. We need that leader that can really help us engage with wisdom. And that's where our coaches come into play. And then we help through all of the development of power and having control over your life and having control over your own decisions. And then that transformation starts to happen. And then that leads to the cultivation of a new skill or a new form. And so that's where our new logo is rooted in, and that's what we wanted to do, to put it out to you guys so that you understood, hey, why did we switch from, a lot of people called it Frogman or Tree Man or Snatching Man, but we wanted everyone to recognize that we want to be a brand that is all encompassing. We want everybody to engage with us. We want everybody to learn from us and try to become better athletes. Try to become better people. And what's cool now is that we've got a good following here on YouTube. We've got a merchandise store down below. We've got a new apparel store on our website at garagestrength.com. And if you want to get some of our sweet new gear, head over to garagestrength.com. And if you want more information about how to become an absolute beast, head over to garagestrength.com and we can help you achieve all of your dreams and goals. Peace.